Hey, y'all. Welcome to episode 246 of Consignment Chats. Libby, welcome. Wake up. We're here. Hello.
Gosh.
All right. Favorite thing I'm going to start with, because this is Libby, so I'm going to do a little start here. I'm going to do a little role play. It's my item. I should get the majority of the profit. I mean, without my inventory, you wouldn't even have a store.
Wow,
Okay.
that's harsh, but I can't say we haven't heard it before, right?
Oh, right.
So today we are going to break down consignment splits, the controversial topic of what splits are, should be, what the standard is. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it. We're going to educate some people, and we're going to talk about what our splits are, what they maybe, have we ever changed them, all kinds of good information. But before we jump into that, kids, I got to know from my girls how your week was. I feel very out of touch with Libby because she had a busy week. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to Consignment Chats. This is Molly, and I'm joined by my co-host. Well, we didn't meet our sales goal for the week. So it's been the first time in a while where we haven't met our sales goal. So I'm trying, it's not affecting my mood. We came in, I don't know, about $200 short of our sales goal for the week. But it was a pretty hustling good week, getting rid of a lot of old inventory. But guys, I got to share my story of the week. So this dresser here,
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
it's beautiful. It is mid-century that we had painted through our Molly and I had refab wet. Well, I guess we technically still have refab
We
west.
still have
It's kind of
refab
like
west.
our, refinishing, upcycling business. And this has been kind of hanging around for a while, this gorgeous dresser. And it sold this week. And not only did it sell, but it sold. I'm in Pennsylvania. It sold in California. So I was like, oh, all right, I'm going to have to cancel this sale. It's a local pickup. And immediately they reached out and were like, may I have your address? I'll send a shipper. Shipper came on Sunday morning, packaged it all up, nicest guy. And it is on its way to California into, I'm sure, a beautiful mid-century space. So I'm just really excited about that because it's been hanging around for a while and that beauty needed a new home.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, really exciting.
So now you ready to get back into more furniture sales?
No, I'm giving up furniture. As you guys know, like I have been clearancing it out. I am like, my garage is almost empty of furniture. And I'm just really excited for the next chapter and to not be hauling around heavy stuff. Yeah, and breaking my back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. My Mantha, aka Samantha. She's my Mantha, y'all. Just how was your week, my friend?
Same thing. My sales were down as far as our numbers. But like there were several sales. So I was like, oh, we're busy. This is pretty good. And then I ran my numbers Saturday night and I was like, oh, wait, that's not. But that's okay.
That hippo still hadn't sold to bring in the big bucks. Come on, hippo.
Oh, you would have hit it if the hippo sold.
Right? No, but I did sell some winter jackets. Everybody get your winter stuff out and get it listed. I sold several winter jackets over the weekend. And then I had done a tutorial, one of my goals for like the entire 12-week year that I hadn't done one yet. I did one and I did it on car parts and I've already been selling some of them.
Woo!
So yeah, so I got this to ship out, and these are like dirty and gross, and they still sold for $20. So all right,
dirty and gross.
There we go.
Dirty and gross.
What a saleswoman there. Dirty and gross. Who wants them? Did you keyword it like that?
Yes, I did. Grimy, gross. No, I'm just kidding.
Grimy, gross, dirty. Ew.
Yeah.
I listed some boots this weekend during our Listapalooza, which has kept my week pretty busy. My personal sales part of consignment was a little lower than usual this week, also reflecting into Libby's total too. But I have to say, I did not as much at the beginning of the week because I was doing all kinds of other things, getting ready for the Listapalooza event. If you're hearing this, just know that Wednesday, tomorrow, right, from Elise.
Mhm,
We will
yep.
be going live at noon. We will announce if we hit our group goal for Listapalooza, and we will also announce our winners, and we will most likely do the wheel of names to spin for participant prizes. So lots of prizes to go out tomorrow. It'll be so much fun, and we'll find out if we won this Q4 football game or not. Q4 prep football game.
Yes.
Anybody's game right now, folks.
It's
Anybody's game.
So
A lot
yeah,
like that
yeah.
Eagles game the other day. Holy schmoly, that was
That-
back and forth.
That Eagles game made me nervous, but we pulled it out in the end. But
It
I
did.
was a
Go
little
Birds.
anxious. I was all by myself at home, yelling at the TV. I just me. So yeah, and Nick was gone a lot this past week and then at the end of the week. So that made me have to power through because he is my shipping manager, and he's never been gone for this extended period of time, especially during the Listapalooza. And y'all, when we do our Listapalooza free business building events, they always have Shipapaloozas that
So
come out.
guys,
It's
so
like
guys,
the Listapalooza hangover.
while we record this, Listapalooza is still going on. We're just at the tail end of it, and there's been some whining from Molly. I just want you to know. There's been some... You're doing good. You're as she says it in a whiny voice.
I was proud of myself. I got
You're
up
doing great.
and I got all of it done. One thing I will tell you, and there will be a future episode on this or maybe a reel, it definitely made me open my eyes to how badly we've got to redo our inventory situation, our storage situation, because it's great for Nick, but
I
when
wish
Nick's
someone
gone,
had told you that.
it's not great for me because it is 7 high buckets and they're heavy, and I've got to be the one moving those.
Oh, yeah.
Extra cardio and strength training.
Yes, but there's very little room in there, so we've got to get into our garage and get it taken care of and get stuff out of this room and into a bigger space where it can be better organized. So
I'm a huge proponent of these rolling racks or just racks in general where you have one bin or one bag on each shelf, like because you never have to stack or unstack anything.
So we have that. We have 3 of those, but then we ran out of room to have them.
Yeah.
So now they're just stacked and pushed up against. And like I say, for Nick, that's great. But you know what? I got to say, I am DAMN proud of myself because I did it. I went and not once, but multiple times, the bucket I was looking for was on the very bottom of 8 heavy, large buckets. And girl, not only did I take it down and get it, I put them all back to where they were in the beginning.
And that's really hard because buckets don't stack very well.
Right. I mean, who keeps their inventory in buckets? Like that just sounds like unstable.
Crazy. We are very proud of you. You've been doing very good. He has been gone for a long time, and you're kicking butt. So good job. Yeah, there's been some late nights too. Like you're gonna have to get your sleep back on track when he comes home.
Oh, okay. I've missed so much these past couple days. I feel like I'm coming back in. Like, who are these people?
Right. Well, I never sleep well when he's not here. I always tell people it's like when you have your newborn and then you don't sleep for months because every little sound has you wide awake at night. Like, what was that? What was that? Well, that's how I am when it's my mother. My mother was the same way when my dad traveled. She was like, she couldn't sleep at night. And that's me. I just don't sleep well if he's not here. It's just every noise I hear, I'm like, oh. So I guess I got to stop doing the Just for Fun book club because these murder books are getting to me.
Or you can pick a non-murder book.
Time to start picking some romance schmoozy novels. I don't know.
Then he'll miss them. So you'll miss him more. So you can't win on that front.
Right? Right? Just can't win. We need some strong, independent woman book. Crap, we need her book club. Dang it.
I know.
It all comes back to the business boosting book club. It doesn't mess with your sleep. Your spouse can travel freely. Like, yes.
Right? Your spouse can travel freely. You feel good about yourself. You're not shaking in the corner, calling friends at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. I agree. But overall, good week. I made it. I survived. And he's going out of town again in a couple of days. So I better learn how to survive. So
Holy schmoly.
yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right, resellers. Let's talk about the elephant in the consignment room. We're going to talk about commission splits. 50-50.
This is for all resellers because whether or not you realize it, at some point, somebody is going to ask you to sell something for them. All goes back to our consignor agreements and things like that. But every single reseller needs to be prepared. I've never met one that said, I haven't been in this situation. Never.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I agree. And it's, we've talked about this in previous episodes. You get people who get upset and think they're not making enough. And we always say, listen to that feeling, that red flag. And if there are people that don't get it, it's okay. There are going to be others out there that do, right?
The red flag.
Oh, look at you all prepared.
Oh,
what is that? A shirt?
I know. I got my referee flag.
Oh,
I don't have a red flag.
It's a cute little.
Oh, that's cute.
Shirt. Yeah.
Look at that. You're going to sell it right from here. All
right. It's not even listed yet. It was on my to list rack. So, I would say, first of all, these are red flag conversations too. Like there's a fine line between telling them what your terms are and just making sure that you're having that conversation so they know, and trying to convince them that they need to consign with you. Like you don't need to convince anybody.
Never. I'm going to go one step further and say never even attempt to convince anyone. It's the same as being defensive in an argument.
Yes.
You're not going to win. The other person has the upper hand. It's just not going to work. Yeah. Just don't do it. It is what it is.
Let's talk about, first of all, for new people in the consignment world, let's talk about what the common split structures are. Like what kind of split structures are out there? What do you typically see in the consignment world?
So flat splits are the most common. Like for instance, like if you do a 50-50 split, in my business, I do a 60-40 split, meaning I earn 60% of and earn is the big word there. I earn 60% of the profit. I do have a special friends and family where I do 50-50, but pretty much across the board it's 60-40, and that's just the way I do it. So that's the flat structure. Samantha, do you want to weigh in on the flat structure before we?
Yeah, I mean, mine's the same. If you're listening to this episode and at the end you're like, oh my gosh, mine's way too low. I started by only earning 30, I believe, when I first started. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even know consignment was what you call it. So I have over the years bumped that up, and it's okay to do that too. So yeah, I started with 30. I'm now also earning 60, and I do 50-50 for friends and family. So
yeah.
I don't know why I try to structure these conversations because I have different things that I think we should talk about. But then when you all start talking, you go ahead and answer all my structured things that are coming later. So I'm just going to throw.
We don't work well on scripts. That.
First of all,
but I don't have a script, but I kind of like to have a little bit of an outline. Like, okay, we'll talk about the common structure first, and we'll talk about Samantha.
When you're the only one. Yeah, when you're the only one with the outline and you're interviewing experts over here. I mean, come on. I've been raising my commission for a decade. I got this. Come on.
Yeah, so you have your flat structure, and you have to put a lot of thought into what that's going to be. A lot of people enter in, very, very common to do this and not value what you are doing. You are like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna take 30%. I'm gonna take 20%. We have seen people come in and visit us that have a 10% that they are earning. This is generally not at all sustainable. Not at all sustainable. I would say my advice is to start high and see how that works. I think it's always better to start high, start at the 60%. rather than, come in low and try to bump it up. It's much easier to start
Absolutely.
high, and
Yeah.
you'll weed out the people that aren't interested in getting rid of their items, like right off the bat. So would you agree with that, guys? It's easier to
Yeah.
start high.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh,
Don't do what I did. No.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
hope if you did do that. But if not, if you're talking now and you're like, oh, what do I set mine at? I would start high. Yeah.
I would
so
I would
simply
start
put-
at 60.
Yeah.
Now, start at 60. Now, what about, do you do 60? Let's talk about like luxury items versus bread and butter items. I know there are businesses out there that structure differently for luxury items versus bread
Yeah.
and butter.
So that's called a tiered structure. It's also fairly common. It's a little more complex to manage. So basically, what that would look like is, I will earn 60% on items below $500. I will earn 40% on items above $500. Items above 2,000, I may earn 30%. So that's also a very common structure. It's kind of, I'm personally not a fan of it, and I will tell you why in a couple minutes when Molly gives me permission. But
You can,
I will say that I've never used that, and I'm also not a fan of it. I don't like to overcomplicate things, but I do know I was playing around in Consign Cloud last night in the settings, and they are working on a tiered program to put that right in for your items and all that. So that is
Okay.
in the works there.
good
Yeah.
to know. Go ahead, Libby. Go ahead. I've given up on my outline. I just threw that out.
So all right. So a lot of people like the tiered structure. Like you can see why that might be, good for consignors or getting high-end items, or if you feel like you're in competition with another store. I could see why that's appealing, but the reasons I don't like it is because if you are selling higher end items, you are taking on more risk. You are responsible for those items. They take more time to list, more, sometimes you have to authenticate. Like there's a lot
Yep.
more involved in listing the higher end items on top of the risk. There are also, it depends, there may be higher fees. It just takes a lot more money to list, or even if you're in a storefront, it takes a lot more money. Sometimes you have to have those on a special shelf. Sometimes they have to be locked. It's going to take a lot more manpower to sell those items, and you're taking on a proportionately higher amount of risk. So that's why I'm not a fan of the tiered structure. In addition to what we talked about, is it being complicated to manage. Like we like it simple.
But I wanna consign my Louis with you, but I'm not gonna have you keep it. I'm gonna hang on to it until you sell it. I'm just gonna hold on to it. So
We're
none of
only
that-
talking about splits and commissions on this episode. We're not talking about
I'm the one in
expiration.
control. So I just want to know that you're talking about all this extra risk, but I want more because I'm actually going to keep it with me.
Red flag. Where's the red flag? Where's the red flag?
Yeah, definitely. So at first I thought you were wondering if you could have it back at the end of the consignment term, which for higher end things, I definitely make that. Like
That's a whole different conversation. Back it up. We're not there yet.
That's
We're
per
talking
consignor.
about, you're telling me you're going to take this cut, and I'm telling you, but you're not storing it. I'm going to keep it at my house.
Never, ever, 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 ever do that. You're putting, I hate middlemen. I hate that. Yes, never do that. I've sold like cars and stuff, even for my own father. I did that. And I was like, oh, I'll just meet people out there and then I'll show them the vehicle. I mean, it's my dad's house. It's fine. No, I end up out there at 11 o'clock at night while it's snowing, waiting for some kid for Detroit to come up and get this car. Oh, we don't have the title for the car. You didn't have that ready. Okay, don't do it. Don't do it.
I have to agree. I've had the same exact situation. I was actually going to use my parents. Like my parents, it couldn't be easier. They live right next door to me.
Like 15 steps, y'all.
Like 15 steps from me. And I have, they have kept things at their house. It's easy. I can go in and out but it just adds a level of complexity. Oh, I didn't tell you, Dad accidentally like dropped a hammer on that and it smashed.
Right.
Like things can get damaged, right? If you're missing a piece or a part, or it's just somebody has a question and it's not in your possession, and meetups
Seller
and all of that. Oh,
sellers
nightmare.
seller's remorse. Oh, but this was my favorite and now you're getting rid of it. I don't know. No, I've decided I
My
don't want to
favorite
sell that.
is, oh,
Mhm.
I forgot to tell you that Auntie Jane came the other day and fell in love with it, so I just let her have it. I forgot to tell you. I'm so sorry. I don't have
Yeah,
that anymore.
it's not any, malicious intent on the part of the consignor. It's just they don't realize like that your business is on the hook for this item.
Yeah.
It's not I'm not saying like there's anything negative or it's a, bad intent, but people have no idea. Like, you cancel an order, you disappoint a buyer, that's your reputation. It might be a ding on eBay. It's going to affect everything. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Have the item in your possession.
Always. So that's that risk factor part of it that we take care of because we have those items. And so that's another reason we are storing that item. We are keeping it safe, hopefully, most of the time. Because accidents do happen.
Accidents do happen.
Anyway. So, all right. So we've got different kinds of splits, ways you can do it. We all are firm believers in starting higher. My next question is, how transparent do we think people should be, store owners, business owners should be on their end about their cut and what it covers? Like letting them know that it's, ads or rent or employees, or like, how transparent are you with all of that when you're dealing with somebody who's comes in and wants to know about split?
I mean, I just, really, if somebody, I just say there's a lot. And like, if somebody's interested and there's no red flags and they're just like, wow, I was wondering like how you got to that percentage or something. If somebody's genuinely curious, I'll just say, there's a lot to run a business. It's expensive. We have listing fees, and I might say, a couple of these things, pay somebody to photograph, whatever they are. But that is only if they are just genuinely curious and not needling me. If someone is needling me, I offer zero explanation other than, what, there's a lot of costs and time. And this is a challenging business. And then I say, I don't think it's a good fit.
Yeah. I just don't think. I think you know what? Here's some other options for you. Some other businesses in the area. Maybe they'll work out for you.
Yeah,
I mean, most potential consignors are not. They don't care. They're excited when they get paid. They don't really get into the details of it all. But yeah, I do in my agreement, and when I simply say that we split the profits, and then if they start asking more questions, I let them know like there are fees, there are this, there are that, and that comes after too, and like different things like that. But for the most part, no one asks that.
Yeah, that brings up a really good point. And hopefully I'm not derailing here, but this
came
up
we've
in our
already
mastermind. All right. This came up in our mastermind is like, we make certain assumptions about what our consignors are thinking or what somebody that wants us to sell their items are thinking, right? Because I don't want to say never, but I wouldn't give my items to somebody else to sell where they earn 60%. Because I'm perfectly capable of doing that. For me, that doesn't work. And a lot of times we're putting ourselves in the consignor's shoes when that is not the case. Like Samantha said, the primary motivation for most consignors isn't even the money. It's they want to clear out their house. They're happy somebody is taking their items. I'm not saying this is every consignor, but that is the primary motivation. It is not money. Most people are not, we think most people are consigning for money. So we're super concerned about, having too high of a percentage or inconveniencing when really we need to look at our ideal consignor and think about things from their perspective. Like, who do we want to target? We don't want to target the people that are nickel and diming and want to make a certain amount. No, we want to target the people. I mean, my business specifically, I know I want to target the people that are most interested in finding their items a new home, most interested in recycling items into the community. That is their primary motivation, clearing out their house. somebody comes to me and they are interested in making a certain amount of money, and this will happen, they will say, well, I want to make at least $100 on, this item or that item. We cannot guarantee that. And I don't like to work with people that's their primary motivation. So look at who you want to consign with you. Maybe you are comfortable in that situation. I'm personally not, but
Yeah.
Way to throw that thumbs up right in there.
By accident. Yeah.
All right, Samantha, I want you to touch on if so people are listening that maybe are just getting into the business and now they're hearing this and they know that we say start high. We all do 60-40 and agree and believe in that wholeheartedly. But Samantha, talk about if there's somebody watching now that is already has their agreements out there signed and they're 50-50 or lower. I hope not,
Right.
but I'm sure there are.
It happens. Don't feel bad about it. We can help you through this. It happens, and don't be hesitant to reach out to us. I guess if you're like, I'm 10%, like I didn't know what I was doing when I started. That's okay. You're not alone. We'll help you.
All right. Yeah. Back to Samantha. I have zero control of today's episode. Zero.
I can't shut up. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Samantha, can you please discuss what happened when you decided to raise your split or for you to earn more of the split than your consignors did?
Yeah. So every time I increased it, I increased it by 10%, and I would do that, like once a year, until I got to this point. And I would simply send an email or a Facebook message to some of them, but I do capture my emails now for all my consignors. And I would simply send an email stating that all the inventory they had with me, and, even if it wasn't listed yet, would remain at X amount of split. However, anything dropped off after, and then I would put, the next month's date or whatever, would go up to the higher split. And I mean, it was pretty simple. It was like one paragraph. I thanked them for consigning with me, trusting me with their items. And I didn't get any angry people. If anything, I got people that were saying, "Oh, I'm so glad, you deserve it. You're so great. You do such a good job. I'll bring more stuff on Tuesday." Like it was like and even some of my most difficult people at the time, as I was trying to weed some of them out, I thought that maybe this would kind of do me a little work and I could weed them out. No, they were also cheering me on, and they're like, "Oh, that's great." And I'm like, "Crap, I still have to have that conversation with you." All right. Well,
Libby, I know you've told this story a couple of times. Tell the story about the consignor that came in and did not like your terms and took it home and then reappeared later down the road.
Oh, yes. So they, and this happens
Often.
several times with several different people.
Yeah.
They come in and show them, explain the agreement to them. Oh, well, I can't believe you would take that much. And that's, that's ridiculous. And I could make more on my own. So our standard response was generally, well, okay, good. Like, how do you intend to do that? Are you going to, do you want to use eBay? All right, well, let us know how it goes. You're going to try Facebook Marketplace. If you need any help, or you have like general questions, we're here. Just let us know. They all came back. Like what? 3-4 months later, it was a significant amount of time. Like they'd tried it and they're like, oh, all right. You know what? This 60% sounds like a pretty good deal. Here you go. Over and over again. Like they're like, all right, now I see how much work is actually involved, like how much you guys actually do. Or the alternative, and I did this a couple of times, was invited people to come into the store for a day and volunteer. That was a real eye opener. For them. Yeah, like this much goes on. I thought you guys were just taking stuff and just.
But mind you, she was picky and choosy about who she actually invited in for a day because
I've had people. I had a provider that I worked with at the hospital, and when I first started, like I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like, well, I don't know, 30%, and he was like, you're gonna keep 30%? That's crazy. I'm doing all the work. I do all the stuff. I'm just gonna hand it to you. Oh my gosh, blah, blah. And I said, well, that's it is what it is. And a couple years later, he came back and he had tried it himself and he had done all this stuff. And and then my fees were double. And he was like, oh, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. And I'm like, yes, it does. He still does not consign with me. There are many other red flags, but but then it was my choice and he understood.
I'm telling you, the best way to learn is to live it yourself. So they had to live it themselves to realize it's not easy. It's just not. It's just not. All right. Any other things you can think to help our friends out with the consignment split topic? We got all of
confident. I think that's the biggest thing is just be
Yes.
confident that you have the skills to sell people's stuff. I mean, many of you are already doing it. You're running businesses. You're doing it. So just be confident. People will question you. They will ask questions. They will have that conversation. And sometimes from our point of view, it's really uncomfortable because you feel like they don't trust you or that they don't think you're competent when really they're just asking questions and they're not reading that much into it. And they do have to ask questions because there are people out there that have been burned in this kind of scenario before. And so you just be confident that you do a good job, you will provide a good service, and the right people will come on your terms.
You're in
none of
charge.
us.
I'm going to link up the agreement episode because we do
Yes.
talk a lot about, confidence and presenting yourself in a confident and professional manner, because that does, Samantha is absolutely right. That makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah. I like it. Thank you. Perfect. All right. So there you have it. Commission splits. They might look simple and then you break it all down and they're a little scary, but in the end, they are simple. They are simple. They're what is worth your time. And that is storefront or online consignment seller. I know a lot of people might be like, well, you're not paying rent, you're online. Well, you're giving up space in your home, square footage to safely store those items. You are shipping, don't even let them go there. This is your split. This is what you're doing. So yeah. Confidence, you got this. We're here for you. Boom. Let us know in the comments too, y'all, what your split is. And have you ever changed your split with consignors you've had for a long time? And how was that for you? What kind of feedback did you get when you did that? Because we'd like to know. I'm sure people have gotten different feedback in different ways. So let us know. All right, girls. Until next time. Cheers.
If Mel Robbins.
Samantha's being good, drinking water. Thank you for joining Libby, Molly, and Samantha, the ladies of Consignment Chats, as we grow your reselling business. For all things Consignment Chats, visit us at consignmentchats.com and join our free private communities on Facebook and/or Patreon.